What if one man's words could shape the future of a nation? Love him or hate him, Donald Trump remains one of the most controversial and influential figures in modern politics. Whether he's making bold promises, challenging global norms, or stirring up debate, his words never fail to make headlines. In 2024, Trump delivered some of his most striking statements yet, statements that reveal his vision, his strategy, and his unfiltered approach to leadership. Today, we're unveiling the top 12 quotes from Donald Trump in 2024, each offering a glimpse into his plans, policies, and perspectives. Let's dive in. Quote 1. If you don't manufacture your products in the United States, you'll face tariffs. At the World Economic Forum in Davos, after encouraging businesses worldwide to come to America and make their products and benefit from what he claimed to be among the lowest taxes of any nation on earth, Trump also issued a stern warning to global companies: produce in America or pay the price. His statement underscores his commitment to bolstering domestic manufacturing and protecting American jobs through aggressive trade policies. Quote 2, we are working with Congress on a bill to exclude tips from federal taxes. Speaking in Las Vegas, Trump announced a plan to collaborate with Congress to exempt workers' tips from federal taxation. His initiative aims to increase take-home pay for employees in the hospitality industry, reflecting his focus on tax reforms benefiting working-class Americans. His plan is in alignment with his wider economic agenda, which he deems as a path to uplift workers while encouraging job growth. Quote 3, if we swamp them, they can't cheat, it just doesn't work out. This remark was part of his Swamp the Vote initiative, which encourages his supporters to vote in large numbers, whether by absentee ballots, mail-in voting, early in-person voting, or on election day itself. The underlying idea is that a massive voter turnout in his favor would create a margin so substantial that any alleged attempts at electoral fraud would be ineffective. By swamping the polls with votes, Trump suggests that opponents would be unable to manipulate the election outcome. Quote 4, if I don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath for the country. During a March rally, Trump used vivid imagery to convey the stakes of the election, suggesting that his defeat would lead to national turmoil. His statement reflects his view of himself as a stabilizing force and his belief in the critical importance of his leadership. Quote 5, our allies treat us actually worse than our so-called enemies. In September, Trump criticized America's allies, arguing that they exploit the US for defense while engaging in unfair trade practices. His sentiment aligns with his America First doctrine, emphasizing re-evaluation of international alliances and trade agreements to prioritize US interests. Quote 6, I will negotiate an end to the war in Ukraine in one day. Trump pledged to swiftly resolve the ongoing conflict in Ukraine, asserting that his deal-making skills could bring about peace. His claim underscores his confidence in his negotiation abilities and his desire to reduce US involvement in foreign conflicts. Quote 7, we will fundamentally reevaluate NATO's purpose and mission. Trump signaled intentions to reassess the role of NATO, questioning its current relevance and the burden it places on the United States. This reflects his ongoing skepticism of multinational alliances and his focus on ensuring that such partnerships serve American interests. Quote 8, it is time to put the division of the past 4 years behind us. Success will bring us together. Taken from his 2024 victory speech, this quote reflects Trump's call for national unity following a period of political and social polarization. By urging Americans to move beyond past divisions, he emphasizes the importance of collective success as a means to foster unity. Trump suggests that achieving shared goals and prosperity can help bridge societal divides, bringing citizens together regardless of their differences. This sentiment aligns with his broader message of reconciliation and progress, aiming to heal the nation's wounds through common achievements. Quote 9, God spared my life for a reason, to save America at that point of time. This remark references an assassination attempt he survived during the campaign. By attributing his survival to divine intervention, Trump suggests that he has a providential mission to lead the nation and restore its greatness. This narrative aligns with his broader appeal to religious supporters, particularly evangelical Christians, who view his leadership as part of a divine plan. By framing his survival as an act of God, Trump emphasizes his commitment to fulfilling what he perceives as a divinely ordained purpose to save and restore America. Quote 10. I think the bigger problem are the people from within. We have some very bad people. We have some sick people, radical left lunatics. In this context, Trump was expressing his belief that domestic adversaries, particularly those he identifies as radical left lunatics, pose a greater threat to the United States than external foes. He emphasized concerns about internal divisions and suggested that individuals within the country, whom he perceives as holding extreme leftist views, are contributing to national challenges. Trump further proposed that, if necessary, the National Guard or military could be deployed to address potential unrest caused by these domestic groups. This perspective underscores his view that internal threats from certain political factions are significant and may require decisive action to maintain order. Quote 11. Well, we're a developing nation too. Take a look at Detroit. Take a look at our cities. We're a developing nation. We have to develop more than they do. In this quote, Trump compared certain American cities, notably Detroit, to developing nations, highlighting issues such as economic decline, infrastructure challenges, and urban decay. By labeling the U.S. as a developing nation, he emphasized the need for significant domestic development and revitalization efforts. Trump's assertion underscores his perspective that the U.S. must focus on internal growth and improvement to address these challenges. This characterization drew criticism from local leaders and residents who pointed to Detroit's recent economic progress and revitalization efforts. Quote 12. I will make Europeans reimburse the US the cost of rebuilding its old stockpiles. Trump is expressing his intention to request that European nations compensate the United States for the expenses incurred in replenishing military supplies that were provided to Ukraine. He criticizes the Biden administration for not making such a request, suggesting that President Biden lacks the strength or respect to do so. Trump emphasizes that the US has contributed nearly $200 billion in aid to Ukraine, while European countries have provided significantly less. He argues that Europe should bear a greater share of the financial burden, especially concerning the replenishment of US military stockpiles depleted due to assistance provided to Ukraine. Whether you agree or disagree, there's no denying the impact of his words on the political landscape. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more insightful content. Share your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think about these statements? Until next time.